Good morning, my friends. This is Isaiah, and you are here. I have been getting distracted, my friends. I've been allowing myself to get caught up in a shift that I'm going through right now in my life. It's a positive shift. It's not a bad thing. As many of you know, if you've been following my video series, you know that I've embarked, is that like an hard word? I've embarked on a new professional endeavor. Well, not really new, but it is an endeavor that requires me to adhere to a schedule. And up to this point, I've been working independently, been working for myself. Sorry about that. There we go. And as you know, when you're working for yourself, you do things when you want to do them. And when you're working on a schedule, you have to do things when someone else wants or needs you to do them. That schedule has consumed my focus, I guess you could say. The job itself has consumed my focus to some degree. I am working to correct this. I want to get my videos back on track. I haven't been doing a daily video now for about a week, and I'm beginning to feel like I'm missing something. I'm beginning to feel like my life isn't quite where I want it to be. It's because, in many ways, I'm allowing it to go off track. I'm relinquishing my passion. I'm relinquishing my dreams so that I may adhere to a schedule. And that's not good, because you can live your life, do what you need to do, take care of your responsibilities, and adhere to a schedule, and still follow your dreams, follow your passions. Just takes some mental discipline, some focus. And we're going to get back on track. I've let a lot of things go by the wayside these, probably the last couple of weeks, it seems. I've just allowed, in many, many ways, the reptilian mind and body to kind of take over for a second, with all sorts of distractions, emotional distractions, physiological distractions, mental distractions. I'm going to get my focus back, guys. What I want to talk about today, I shared the thumbnail yesterday for it. Day behind on it, obviously, but we just established that. No, what I want to talk about today is beautiful surprises, random events that take place in our lives that seem random, but not random. Oftentimes, it's things we've been thinking about and focusing our intentions and our energy on in hopes that we would one day see them come into fruition. It's kind of like this, is you have something built up inside of your mind that you want to see come to pass, that you want to make happen, you want to work towards. Sometimes in life, there's things that we want to see happen that we can't necessarily work towards. Well, it's those things that we just have to put our intentions, our energy, our focus, our thought, our hearts out into the ether, out into the universe, and draw them into us, draw the situation into us. Now, when we do this, we'll find that in divine timing, I've mentioned this very briefly before, in divine timing, meaning when the timing is just right, the stars are aligned, so to speak, and you've planted your seed and it's come to harvest, you will see your manifestation come into fruition. just myself, this past week, I had one of those manifestations come into play. It was one of the things that's been a distraction for me. And I'll go on to briefly explain what I had experienced. Last spring, my eldest son came to live with me. He became of age. He turned 18 years old. He came to live with me. Throughout the years, I had faced many adversities and many trials that had involved his mother. And she didn't make it easy on me to see him as he was grown up, as we were separated. She is not what you would call a mentally stable individual. And this isn't just muckraking or me attempting to speak negatively of someone behind their back, because that's not what I want to do. Not at all. I'm just stating a fact. Excuse me, guys. Whew, excuse me. Seems to be I may have a little bit of a cold coming on. So, she's not the most mentally stable and sound individual. And for many years, we had our differences, and she would keep him away from me. Well, when he came of age, he was able to come and live with me. And things it wasn't the easiest of transitions. Long story short, rebellious 18-year-old wants to go out into the world and do things on his own, even though he's not ready. And he just told me, he's like, Dad, I got to go out and I got to experience some things, even though I'm not ready. I've got to do it the hard way. He told me that. I can, to some degree, understand that. I've always kind of been that way myself. I've caused a lot of unnecessary adversity for myself throughout the years having that attitude. Well, needless to say, this scenario, the apple hasn't fallen too far from the tree. So he goes out to the world, moves off to Georgia. It's close to where his mother lives, and lives on the streets for a little while, does different things, has a lot of trials, a lot of adversities, worries me to death, and lives the hardest life possible for several months, up till recently. Like, this is January. He embarked on that endeavor in May and has been doing that ever since. There towards the end, he found a family that he was living with up there that were good people. That was only for about the last month or so, last month or two. Well, needless to say, as his father, my heart has just been worried sick about him. It's just been one of the many things that, I put out. That intention, that energy for my son, obviously, to be safe, to be protected, to find his way in this world, to find his way home, if that was his destiny. And, for months now, I've been putting this out there, putting this intention out there. It's not one of those things I can really control. If I held him down, and being a legal adult, if I had held him down, tried to force him to stay and force him into submission, I would have never seen him again. He would have just rebelled even harder. So the only thing I could do was tell him that I love him, impart on him some words of wisdom the best I know how, give him a few things, and send him on his way with my blessing. But I could, and I was able to, put my intentions out there, put my heart out there, and just know and just believe that he would be back home. If it was his destiny, I didn't want to attempt to rob him of his free will. I didn't want to manipulate him energetically or emotionally in any way. So I put the intention out there that my son would be home, and he would be safe, and he would be protected, if it was his will. He calls me out of the blue last week and says, "Hey, Dad, I want to come home." Just like that. And you got to understand, it's like night and day. This kid rebelled against me hard. I tried to give him all the advice that I could. He wasn't having it. He didn't want to come home. He didn't want to think about things like college, and he didn't want to think about, not typical, some 18-year-olds, they got their minds locked on tight, and they're, making a good go at life. Not him. He was passionately following his musical interests and just taking the hardest road possible, in the name of creative expression and rebellion. And nothing happened that I'm aware of. It was just overnight that, I want to come home. I want to do some things right. I want to change the trajectory on my life, so to speak. That's what he didn't say that, but this is what his intentions behind what he was saying was. He wants me to work with him, teach him some things, and get him better prepared for life, Needless to say, I was busting at the seams. I was like, all right, this is wonderful. And he arrived home, he got a bus, and he came home, and I picked him up Saturday. And it was a beautiful, pleasant surprise, and it's something that I kind of just in the back of my mind been working towards manifesting for a long, long time. It wasn't my predominating thought. Perhaps if it was, I would have brought him home sooner. It wasn't my main focus day in and day out. It was just kind of back there. It was like, I want my son to be safe. I want him to be protected and guided. And if it's his will, I want him to be brought home. And he was. He came home on his own free will and accord, happily. And he's now safely living down the street from me with his aunt. And everything is getting back to normal as far as that's concerned. So when he came home, needless to say, I spent some time with him and did some things. And it's been good. It's been wonderful. It's been a good weekend. Just been a lot of things like that come up this week that have been a bit of a distraction for me, but also been a beautiful surprise. And that's it. That's life. You can't allow yourself to worry about what might happen or what might not happen, or worry and fear. It's a misuse of imagination. It's a misuse of energy and intention. And we just have to stay focused. And what's going to happen in some situations is completely out of our control. And we have to accept that. And sometimes the only thing that you can do is put the best intentions out there surrounding a situation, and put your heart out there, put your love out there, surround someone you're concerned about. Surround them energetically with your love. Visualize. This goes back to getting ready to this year. I want to do a big meditation series, guys. We'll get more into visualization at that time, but for now, just try to use your imagination to pour this bright white bubble of just love and protection around someone that you're concerned about. Think of them standing in this ball of light that you placed around them, that they're safe and protected inside of. These things work. These things help. I can't 100% explain how. It's just been my own personal experiences that have been evidence of these things and how they work. Just keep in there, stay strong, stay focused, and you too just may have a beautiful surprise today. I hope everyone has been doing just absolutely wonderful. I want to just say it again. I apologize again for not staying on top of this channel, as this channel was designed and came into fruition to serve you, to help you. And if I'm not making videos, if I'm not sharing my experiences, I'm not helping you. And I apologize that I've let things fall to the wayside. And going forward, I am going to correct this issue. Again, I just hope everyone's doing wonderful. I hope that everything in your life right now is going just as you need it to, in order for you to evolve and for you to grow. And I hope, that while this evolution is happening, you're able to do it with a smile on your face and, just a great outlook and a great perspective on things. Love to hear your ideas on this. If you would, just share your ideas in the comments section below. And, until next time, my friends, I hope that you have much peace in your mind, much love in your heart, much balance in your soul. Take care.